Hello everyone, my name is Legend Ronnie and this game is Rise of Kingdoms, and today we're gonna check some Theodora reports and Artemisia battle reports. Hello everyone and welcome back to another Rise of Kingdom videos. And as promised and requested, after I done my Theodora Commander Spotlight video, I'm gonna post a card on the top about that. I've done a little bit of testing in the expedition because that was pretty much the most available place to actually do some testing. So thank you very much for the Spartan Alliance from Kingdom 1148. They have actually done some tests and they actually sent me the reports, and I can also detail because I was told they haven't used equipment to actually try not to interfere with the reports as much as possible. This is the first battle report. As you're noticing, it's actually looking very formidable. To tell you the truth, it's really a very good hard counter for Attila Takeda. So Charles Martel and Theodora, apparently they can hold their own against Attila and Takeda. The talent tree that was used on Charles Martel is the same as I have on my video or on my Discord regarding how to counter Attila Takeda. Is the same talent tree that we were using with Constantine when we were defending against Attila and Takeda. Going through the troops, there has been only infantry being used in the garrison, and on the rally that has only been used cavalry. Going on the troops buff, both have max legendaries and max skill commanders, so I really do believe that it's quite a really good counter for Attila Takeda. Charles Martel and Theodora, they can definitely do it. Just in case you're wondering, going through the troops or checking the powers, I already checked and it's almost the same amount of tier 4 in both rally and the garrison, just in case you want to put that as a compare. Now we're going to the second report that we have from Charles Martel and Theodora, and we're noticing a slight increase on the severely wounded that the garrison actually had. On this report, there has been 50,000 units reinforcement, so that's pretty much about it. So we could say that it was 1.2 million and 25,000, so about 20,000 more troops reinforcements. But there's one thing that in this report is different than the other, and when you go to the bottom, Sparta Bunny actually joined with cavalry, 53,000 cavalry, and he didn't left. So basically this was not a full infantry garrison, it was a mix of troops because we had 50,000 cavalry. I'm not sure if that was actually the cause of the difference of the severely wounded, but I also checked the battle log in the same time. And when you go into the troops buff, you're noticing that is Attila 4 skill and is Takeda's 4th skill. So both skills went on the first 3 turns of the battle. Attila's 4th skill, first it went the 50% and then it went the 100% all damage. So that might have just be a very impactful for the garrison as well, meaning that they were able to do a lot more damage at the beginning and actually take way less damage because of Takeda's on the first few turns, which can actually turn a little bit the tides of the battle. So I'm not sure it was the buffs or it was the mix of troops in the garrison, but one of the two, it was the difference why this looks a little bit different on the severely wounded. Now in a real war situation where we are actually defending a flag, we all know that it's a very rare chance where a rally is being left to go all the way to 0, or where a garrison is not being reinforced. So if the garrison would have been reinforced and the rally not, in theory it should have looked way worse for the rally. Or if the rally was reinforced and the garrison is being kept reinforced, that's when you can actually tell as a real battle situation. But judging by these two reports, I can definitely say that Charles Martel and Theodora can hold their own against Attila and Takeda. So again, thank you very much for the Spartan Alliance from 1148 to give us these battle reports. If you're interested to join them, they are a great alliance. I'm talking with them and they're very friendly. If you want to do KVK 5, I'm pretty sure they have some spots open. And there was another test that I was sent. It was Theodora and Constantine versus Guan Yu and Alexander. So Theodora being used first. I don't really know why was this particular setup being used, but they obviously tried this as well. I would rather put Theodora and Wu, for example, against Guan Yu and Alexander, or Wu and Theodora. But anyway, this also didn't work very well. Wu is definitely very good commander against skill damaging commanders, which obviously Guan Yu and Alexander, this is exactly what they do. Both maxed, was it mix of troops being used? No, this time is full infantry, and this one has a little bit of cabs. I'm not sure if that's a mistake, but it has a little bit of cabs, which obviously for Guan Yu and Alex that might hurt a little bit on the reports. In my testings as well, Theodora being used first, it just didn't work. So for whatever reason, using her as a second, and especially as a specific specialization commanders, which I've been talking a lot about this, obviously the infantry one or the archer one, this definitely works. So for example, I have a report where Artemisia and Theodora doing okay. It wasn't something super crazy or very crazy, which I'm gonna show you just right now. This is the talent tree that was used on Charles Martel. Artemisia and Theodora actually defeating Attila and Takeda, but having more severely wounded. And the heal, if you're wondering where is the heal from, that is from the defense talent tree, meaning that it had at least the 300 healing from the defense talent tree. I also sent him a report regarding YSS because he actually asked me. So this is YSS and Zetian. I was told that in this report it was used with mostly siege, or the majority of the troops were just siege or only siege. Because I actually asked, you're noticing about the amount of reinforcements that was being used in these two reports. 100 million power drops on both sides. I would say that YSS, it also needs to be a second in command. If they would have used Zetian first, which as a support commander does provide some boost to the siege and probably some siege equipment, I believe that this would have had a different turn of events. So definitely Theodora and YSS, I believe that both are made to be used as a second in command, not being used as primary. Probably as a second in command, YSS might just do a little bit better, but so far Theodora is proving that as a second in command has potential and has possibility to actually stop some of these commanders that everyone is worrying about. I'm on my alt account because I did Artemisia and Zetian as a garrison. We fought against TX4A, which apparently seems to be TX46 Academy. We lost. Children of Anarchy. We lost. There were only 23. We were 30. But I'm not sure if we were 30 in the end, because I was checking and we were only 27. If we got 30 in the end, then that's why we probably have, I can probably check over here as the points. So yes, we did got 30 players in the end, which didn't even got 10,000 points. I do have to say that Attila Takeda does have a very huge impact. They had Attila Takeda, they were using them almost all the time, which was very painful. I tried to do my best, even with my alt account, but I got the MVP, and that's amazing. I mean, I was not expecting this. This is really my alt account, and there was plenty of T5s in the team. Anyway, so I saved the reports. I used Artemisia and Wu. Obviously, they are both max skills. And the time trees that I used on this Ark of Osiris on Artemisia, it was this one. This is the time tree that I used. I wanted to try this one. So this is not against Attila and Takeda. So this is not specifically trying to combat Attila and Takeda, because in the Ark of Osiris you also get swarming, right? And you get skill damage as well. So I couldn't go without loose formation and impregnable. That's why, and I wanted to try Kingsguard as well to just boost more stats. The problem is the alliance that we use as a shell alliance to actually do these tests, it doesn't have any tech. So attack and defense, it doesn't have any tech. So it's very hard to conclude how good or bad these reports were. On this battle report, we needed reinforcements, about 700k reinforcements altogether, to actually manage to get this Genghis and YSG down. Now I'm not sure if he's actually VIP 17 or not, but judging by the troops buff, I had quite a decent amount of troops buff over him. I can show the equipment that I used as well. Right now he's on YSG because I'm done with the arc, so I put it back on YSG for the sunset cannon purposes, but this is the equipment that I used. And obviously it's quite a beautiful report. Now if we do the math, nothing swarmed this rally, so nothing touched this rally. This was purely Garrison versus the rally, but we did had reinforcements in the Garrison. I would say that Zetian is just doing amazing against skill damage, and that's pretty much what is the results. But if we didn't had those reinforcements, the Garrison probably would have gone down. So this is two commanders that I recommend as free to play to invest on, and this is what they can do, right? So even going against tier 3 legendaries like Artemisia, they can still do very, very good. We had a bit of swarm as well. I'm not sure if this actually caused such much of a difference. 84,000 severely wounded, and I suppose this one he stopped. Now the reason why I believe that players in Ark of Osiris, like we've seen in the Osiris Invitational, they were all using Artemisia and Wu, it's purely because it's doing amazing against Swarm. So against Swarm, I believe that this combination, or at least combinations with Zetian, it's working the best. Obviously it's done amazing against the initial rally, but we had reinforcement. So going on to the next report, this is again Genghis YSG, and I believe that this was poorly reinforced. We started with 913,000 at least. Even on severely wounded, it's really crazy how this one is so different than this one. Probably a little bit more T5s we had in the Garrison. I have no idea. Did something actually change? There was even no swarming on this one. Yeah, it beats me, to tell you the truth. Probably they had more T5s, or our reinforcements was not so great. At least Artemisia and Wu, they can hold their own against skill damage as well. Next one they tried is Theodora and YSG. Against skill damage, it's done amazing, but I did swarm this rally. And how can you tell that I actually swarmed this rally? You can tell by the amount of severely wounded versus the slightly wounded. So if you add these two together, it's only about 750k. So that's how you can actually tell that it was actually swarmed. You just add the severely wounded with the slightly wounded and you get the results. On the next report, they went again with Genghis YSG, which obviously was not a full. We also didn't have a full Garrison, but we did get a couple of reinforcements along the way. Now here is the test against Attila and Takeda with reinforcements. I mean, someone left at the beginning, but it's only 28,000, so it's nothing crazy. So we started with 1 million. It was Attila and Takeda, and with a couple of reinforcements. I would say that if we didn't have reinforcements, this would have looked even bad. So obviously, the severely wounded that we had is way higher than they had. So it's Artemisia and Wu actually countering Attila and Takeda. I'm not sure. Probably in the real world situation, things are a little bit different. I really have no clue how else to say it, or why are people so hyped about Artemisia Wu countering Attila and Takeda. Maybe in a real flag situation things will look different, or probably if you have the proper anti-Attila Takeda talent tree, because you can put way more talents on more defensive option against normal attack damage on Artemisia on the defense talent tree if you don't go with the skill damage reduction. Maybe that is the thing, maybe that can have a turn of events, we will see. Or probably the players that are using Artemisia Wu, they have the coin, probably the coin has such a huge impact, I don't know. I checked the troops buff, he doesn't have the silent trial, I don't know if he has Delaney's amulet or not. Now this is the second test, which again a very poorly test against Attila and Takeda, and we had a gazillion of reinforcements. And then we still took like 270,000. Now there is one thing that needs to be taken in consideration, and that is the Attila's expertise. Because when you go on the troops buff, on the Attila's expertise, troops led by Attila are immune, and against enemy troops with less than 50% strength, increased damage dealt. So our garrison started with less troops, so that's one thing. They obviously took advantage from the beginning. After that we kept getting reinforcement, but you can notice by the line that we kind of went half rather fast, and then we went up again, and then we went down again, and we were keeping down, meaning that Attila started to benefit from that 20% attack rather fast, like in the first minute of the battle, and then it was just doing a lot of damage. So Artemisia and Wu, they were just not keeping up with all the buffs and everything that I was having on my commanders. Devastating report, definitely devastating report. And we even swarmed Attila. towards the end, yeah, because you don't have to add the heal. So 220,000 plus 700,000, that's 920. And I think they also reinforced once or twice. I'm not 100% sure. I'll try to post some footage, but I think they reinforced at least once or twice because they really wanted to take down my Artemisia Wu. So yeah, this was very much in their favor. And then is the last one. And this is why I'm saying that Artemisia Wu is doing amazing against Swarm. That's why on the Osiris Invitational, I'm not sure if you're paying attention, they were always trying to take down the rally first. So whenever they were trying to defend in the Osiris Invitational, you can check some of the games with Hong Kong Legends and 411K and so on. The rally was the first thing they wanted to take down, because the Swarm apparently is taking quite devastating damage if you keep reinforcing the building. So the Swarm is really not a problem, is the rally. So we swarmed the rally in this report, which you can notice by the slightly wounded and severely wounded that this rally was swarmed. And then you can see the actual swarm on the building, that they were actually taking a lot of damage. So this is all the battle reports that I have. I showed you the first part about Charles and Theodora, and this is about Artemisia Wu. Obviously, once I do more testings and more battles, I'll be very happy to post them and actually talk and explain about them. So until next time, this is your boy Legend Ronnie signing off. Peace out, yo, and take care. See you on the next one. Stay safe out there.